Hey guys, I'm Amy and you've landed on Belle Loves Bargains. That's my cow Effingham, and sometimes he co-hosts with me. He's got a lot to say. This channel is Dollar Tree and only Dollar Tree. And why? Because everything at the Dollar Tree is $1.25, people. So stick around, consider subscribing, and don't forget to give me that big thumbs up. And if you want to know more about the 4 uploads I do every week, just check out the description box for more information. Enjoy! Oh, there's no place like home for this Halloween, where our houses are haunted through and through. You can run, you can hide, but you'll never get away, 'cause we're gonna give you boo, boo, and boo. Okay, that was bad. Well, not bad. It was okay. All right. Hey guys, welcome to Bella's Bargain. By the way, that was off the cuff. Not bad, right? Should have been a rapper, I think, huh? Said a hip, hop, hip it to the hip, hip, hop. One day, I'll do that. Okay, guess what? It's Halloween stuff again. I swear. I'm almost done. I swear I'm almost done. And I'm sorry, this video is a day late, but it is seriously just swamped right now at work. I'm super busy, and so fitting in the crafting is, but that's okay. I've got some really good things for you today. I'm so excited. 3 things I brought you. If you don't know, this is a Dollar Tree channel, so if it's your first time, stick around. Consider giving me a thumbs up and like and subscribe, of course. And if you do subscribe, then you hit that little thing on the side, notification bell, so it tells you every time I upload. So if you like me, if you really like me, when this is all done, subscribe. And always leave a comment, you guys. The chatter helps the channel grow so much. Okay, let's go. So I told you guys I was going to do a haunted house. I have. But hold, first, let me show you the other things. So right back here, I think this came out so cute. And I think it's like, not the sign isn't original per se. Maybe it is. But okay, so these are the words boo, right? But check it out. I used the leather pieces, the pages of leather that they brought out this year at Halloween, and covered it with that. It's so cute, painted on the sides. Hold on. You want to see how I made it? Hold. Here we go. All right, so we've got the black side, the boo side, the ghost, and the leather piece. So I'm going to fill in the holes on the ghost. So opening my little compound stuff there. I love this stuff. It's so easy. It's like so easy. So I just want to fill those in just because I don't want to see the holes when I paint the ghost. So I fill those in first, set them off to the side, let them dry. I don't even sand because I just like literally wipe it clean to the surface with my finger. And then I'm going to take, this is my Jot black marker. Jot black marker. These things are amazing, you guys. So perfect. So I go all the way around the sign just so to make sure that I have the sides are the black. And remove the string off of the boo because we're not using it to hang. We're putting it on another sign. Okay, so there you go. And then I'm gonna grab my orange paint and paint, I don't know what color it is, you guys, I'm sorry, but it matched the orange that was on the leather piece. You could do this in black, you could do this in any color that you want. I also considered doing it in gray because there's a lot of gray on the piece of leather, but I went with the orange. So I'm just going to paint all the sides of this. You don't need to watch me do it. I only did 1 coat because I didn't need it to be like super vibrant. I just wanted that tint of orange, and I did all of the sides of it, inside all of the circles and all the crevices and everything. Okay, so I paint that, get that all done, and put that to the side to dry. Super easy. But apparently I'm still going to paint a little bit here. I really did only do 1 coat though. And then I'm going to go for the ghost. I think I'm going to paint next. Oh, I should always watch this first before I start narrating. But anyway, I am going to paint the ghost. Here we go. So this is just white, the acrylic paint from Dollar Tree. I squeezed out way too much paint. I believe I put some back into the bottle because there's way too much coming out. But I just go over the ghosts, and then also made sure I painted the sides of the ghosts, right? And in and around their little eyes and mouth too, so that there's no wood showing. I've painted it all white. So I get those all, see, there we go. Get those little crevices all painted white. I love the Acrylology paint from Dollar Tree. And now I'm going to pull out, this is a new item this year, these stencils. So, but it's letters, and then once you remove the letters, it becomes a stencil. So it's in black, which obviously that's not going to work on the sign, right? Because the sign is black. So I went to use the paint, but it doesn't stick to it. So I'm like, all right, never mind on the paint. And then instead, I pulled out my my glass writer. So this is the glass marker in white. And I just go over all of the letters, and then when I peel them off, they're going to be white on the sign. So pretty simple. I believe I went over them basically twice. So I went over them once, I let it dry, and then I kind of went over them again just to make sure that it was white. I wasn't looking for like, you know, stark white. I was just looking for them to not be black. And then I started with Mod Podge, and then I thought about it. I'm like, why am I using Mod Podge? Never mind. So I believe I wipe off the Mod Podge and I go to tacky glue, because I thought tacky glue would probably work better. But here's what I did wrong. This is my mistake. Don't make it. I put the glue on, and then I was like, wait, I didn't trace out the leather. And I know that my piece of leather is not going to cover the whole boo sign. I'm going to have to do a little cut and paste and make it fit in. So after I spread all the tacky glue, then I'm like, oops. And then I go back in and trace my boo. And so I'm going to lay the boo down on this piece of leather and match it on the top so that I get maximum use of my piece of leather. So I flip it over, because I can't do it that way, it would be backwards. So I flip it over here, and then I end up using a Sharpie just to outline it and cut it out at first. So you're going to watch me do this. I used a pencil, that didn't work, so then I get the Sharpie. So I'm just outlining it, and then I'm going to cut it out with scissors. And I know that I might have to do some trimming afterwards, which I do. I end up doing trimming on it. That's fine, because I'm just trying to get as close as I can to what the shape of it is, so I can be on top of it. I'm sorry, I'm out of frame here. So there you go, outlining with the Sharpie. And then I'm going to use scissors. I'm going to cut it out. And obviously it's not covering the whole boo, so I'm going to have to do some pasting in and make it hopefully line up. Now when you trace, you guys, this is important. Always cut inside your line, because your trace line is actually to the outside. So cut inside of your trace line. That's the best way to get the best fit. So don't cut on the line, don't cut outside the line, cut inside the line to get it to fit as closely as possible to what you've traced. So I go around the outside first, and then I cut out the inside portions of the letters, and I believe I have to put more tacky glue on because it dried while I was doing this. So don't put your glue on first. Trace first, cut it out, and then put your glue on. And then it just became a game of trying to get it to fit. Now, if I were going to do this again, I would have 2 sheets of the leather that were the same. I made it work, but 2 sheets would work better because you could absolutely match up your pattern. I ended up with a portion that doesn't quite match up, but I covered it by putting one of the wood wood ghosts on there. Okay, so I'm going to cut it out, I'm going to lay it on there, and then I'm going to play with the leather to finish out my boo. Boo. How many times can I say boo in this? So there you go. I've put it down, and now I'm playing this little game of make it fit. It wasn't perfect, but you can't tell when it's all said and done. Like, it comes out pretty good, actually. But I ended up with creases there. See, if I had had 2 pieces of leather, I just would have had one seam where the 2 pieces of leather came together. I have more than that because I used 1 piece of leather and tried to piecemeal it to get the pattern to all match up. So, like, I have this little tiny little sliver here that's going to go on this one. But the tacky glue, by the way, worked amazing. So if you do this, definitely use the tacky glue. I thought this was a fun way to use the leathers. I don't know, I haven't seen anybody do this, so I think it might be original, but who knows. So I finish all that up, get it all on there, and then I'm going to flip it over and trim off all the excess at this point, because it's too small for me to like try and outline it and then cut it out. So I'm like piecemealing it on there, and then I'll flip it over and use my X-Acto knife to cut it to fit, if that makes sense. And again, if you're going to do this, just buy 2 of the same piece of leather. So there I am trimming it. I flipped it over and I'm trimming off all those pieces so that it's just sort of nicely covers the front of it and there's nothing hanging off the edge. Just make sure you have a good sharp X-Acto knife and you'll be fine. And now it's done, and I've got this apple cut out. But here's the problem. When I put the ghost over it, I want to see black behind it. I don't want to see the wall or whatever would show through. So I just took one of the chalkboard signs, I cut off the string, and then I used some glue stick to glue it down. This is the back side of the sign. So I glue that down, flip it over, and now I have black showing through. So when I put a ghost over it, you won't see wall, you'll see black in the eyes. Now I'm taking my I'm just here for the booze. And when you do this, you guys, a really good little trick is don't try and line it up perfectly. Make your letters sort of jumbled and then it looks great. Like, don't try and, you know, be exact on how, if you hear something in the background, that's Jax. So don't try and be exact about lining it up, just put your letters on there. So I sort of jumble them on there, make sure that they're all going to fit on the sign, and I think it came out really cute. And you'll notice I have 2 ghosts glued down, one at the top, one coming off the side there. And then that third ghost, I'm like, where am I going to put him? Because he doesn't fit between the words and the sign. So I might have done that a little bit differently if I were going to do this again. I didn't measure that out perfectly. But where I end up placing him covers up my jumbled seams on the bottom part of Boo. So I think it works out okay. I did not change out the hanger on this. I left it the jute twine that was already on it, and I think that was okay. I kind of liked it. It was simple, and I liked using their little stencil letters, which I have not used before, so this was the first for that. But just remember, you can change the color of them. You can paint over them. You can marker over them. The glass markers work really well, so I think it looks cute. Anyway, so I'm going to finish putting that on, and I'm going to play with my ghost and see where he fits on there, and then this one is done. I think it came out really cute. So this is a great way to use the wood words that they give us, so you don't have to just use them individually. You can marry them with something else. So I get this all done and glue the rest of everything down, and we're good. So you guys can watch me finish that up. Anyway, I think this came out cute. I hope you guys think so too. first and get 2 pieces of the leather if you can find them. But where I placed that, you can see the seam there, but if you're looking at it, you don't see it. If I point it out to you, you're going to see it. And I think I'm just here for the booze. It's cute. Marcus read it. Said, I'm just here for the boobs. I'm like, he goes, oh, booze. It's like, oh my gosh. Okay, so, but it's cute. I think it came out really cute. And that was just a way to use that boo. I did a boo last year that was it boo or eek? I don't know, which was, I glittered it up. Also came out really cute. So I want to do something different with them. I don't make a lot of signs. You guys know that. But here's a sign. I made a sign. Here's your sign. Uh-oh. Put it back up. I've made so much Halloween stuff. I had to take some things down to get this stuff up there today. So there's no Frankenstein and there's no family's crazy skeleton one. Okay. But next. It's right here. This came out so much better than I thought. So I have to tell you guys, this is my cauldron. Check it out. Bubbling over and all. Wait, ready? Are you ready for this? Ba-bam! Do you see it light up? Now I know we're in the... Hold on. Let's do this. Is that better? Can you see it lit up better now? Well, I'm going to show you pictures. Hold on. Let me just show you. This is just chalk paint with some baking soda, and I mix it like it's pretty 50-50, I guess. And then I just want to take away the shininess basically on this and give it just a little bit of texture, and this works great for that. So I just go around, get one coat on, and then start dabbing it just to just sort of pouncing that brush for the texture on it. Go all the way around. And I'm not doing the very bottom because of course that's what it's gonna stand on. You're not gonna see that, right? And then just do the top, just the ridge around the top. I know none of the inside of this is gonna show, so don't worry about that. Now I'm gonna glue, it's dried, and I'm gonna glue on my 3 shot glasses for the legs on my little cauldron. And I did not do the paint and baking soda on these. So you could, and maybe I would if I did this again. I don't know, or maybe I'll go back and do it. But I didn't, and I don't know. I didn't. And then I just used glue because, hot glue, because it's plastic, so it works. All right, so here's the thing. I used, I believe, 5 things of balls of the different ornament balls. And so you'll notice that first one was Christmas, and I picked it up because of the smaller size of those silver and iridescent ones. Then I go get my black trash bag, and I'm just sort of playing with it here, right? Like, how am I going to do this? I'm just sort of checking it all out, and am I going to need more, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, I forgot to put my grass in, which I figured would cover up my thing. And that is the light set that I got. They're 10 count iridescent lights, $5 at Dollar Tree Plus. So now I'm going to take all those out. So really what I'm doing at this point is just shoveling everything in there. And then I'm just like, okay, now what? In the end, like I said, I went through and glued everything on. And it came out like super beautiful. But at first, I was just pouring all of this on to see what it looked like. And then I go back and I pour it all out and I stage it, which that took a little bit more time, but that's what was necessary. So now let's speed this up. So I dump everything out because now I know I've got the right amount of stuff. I take 2 trash bags and I glue it around the sides, so I'm going to fill in that bottom. And then this does work really well, you guys. That just sort of helped reflection as I'm putting this all together. And now I'm going to glue that one light to the side. I'm going to arrange where I kind of want these. and then no glue here where I know I'm going to have my stuff that's spilling over. And so I sort of wrapped them how I wanted, that's my spillage area. And then I just start building my pile of ornaments. And I kind of just went around in a circle, not really gluing as much to the lights, the ones that are lit, as I am to the side of the cauldron and to other ornaments. So I'm sort of building up underneath my lights, so to speak, a base. And this, I did glue that one there, it was in the center. And I'm just going to do that until I get this all the way filled up. And then I'm going to start building my spillage. And it's kind of hard for you to see how I'm building this because it's down the side. I did try and at one point turn it on the side so you could see it right there, but that doesn't even really work. Just know that I'm just building up those ornaments with my light up ones and getting it just to be like a nice spill effect of the ornaments and the bubbles and all that. So once I get all 5 of my packs of ornament balls in there, and I've piled them up on top and everything and covered all of my area, I'm now going to fill in all my little cracks and crevices with the vase filler. So this takes some time, I'm not gonna lie. I think I spend about an hour filling it all in, because what I don't want to see anything underneath. I just want to see bubbles. So some places I threw some small pieces in, like I would fill in just by throwing little pieces in. But there you go, the finished product. I love this! Oh my gosh, I hope you guys do too. So it takes a little bit of time, right? Because gluing all these on takes a little bit of time, but the most important thing is see the lights. I still have string showing. These lights, okay, so that was very effective. I walked into a Dollar Tree Plus. I never hauled these because I got them and then I came home and did this project. They were $5 for this string of bulbs right there. You can see them a little bit better. You saw them in the video, I think. And they were iridescent. And I was like, oh, those will be perfect. So I didn't have to string any, a string of lights. The lights became part of my bubbles. It's so incredibly cool. I don't think I've seen anybody use the vase fill. I don't think so. I've seen them use the ornaments and all that, but doesn't that add, like, we have a floater here. We got a floater right there. It's stuck on, it's cute. But I don't think I've seen anybody do that. And I think it just adds so much to it. So I love this. And you guys saw the chalk paint with the baking soda to give this sort of that, I have string everywhere in this thing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay, whatever, it'll come off. So, and then the little shot glasses for the feet. I'm obsessed. My only thing is I don't have a witch to put next to it. I should work on that. Or I could just put a broomstick, that little broomstick maybe. Okay, so anyway, but how cool is that? I think this cauldron, I'm sorry, I literally think it's the best I've seen. So, and I've seen a lot of them on TikTok and everywhere else, but I just think this is so cool. And one more thing I want to talk about is, so getting this overflowing worked amazing because I had the string of lights, right? So that became the holder for my overflowing bubbles. So it works great. I don't know, you guys. What do you think? Look, here's more strings. Do you guys think this is like the best cauldron one you've seen? Because I do. Okay, let's put that down. All right. Let's get some more lights back in here. Although, no, I shouldn't, because the next one lights up too. So then I've been telling you I was going to make a haunted house, and I did. I think I made a really cool haunted house. Now, I made a haunted house last year that I absolutely loved, and I made it from a birdhouse that I got at Dollar Tree Plus. If you haven't seen that video, go back and watch that one. Also really good. But this one, I did the same way everybody else is doing them, right? Well, there's no place like home for this Halloween, where your houses are haunted through and through. So I took the doll houses. I bought 4 of them. And the fairy garden stuff. And I made a little Halloween vignette. Haunted house vignette. But here's the thing. I'm going to turn this on so I hope you guys can see. On. Look at how cool is this? So let's talk about what I did here. Watch how I made it. It's a little bit longer, but watch. This one might take some explaining. Explain, Lucy, explain. All right, so that's one of the welcome Wi-Fi signs. But it was just the right size for my base, so I was like, okay, that'll work. And then I just cleaned it off, and I believe I painted over the words on the black side, because then that gave me a black base. Okay, so I'm taking my houses apart, my 4 houses apart, and playing with it. Listen, this is going to be personal preference. I ended up putting the pink one on top. You really could do this any way you want. But I played with it. In the end, the one that's on the bottom, you have to cut off the things that attach the roof to it, right? Because that sticks up too high. So you're going to have to cut some plastic off no matter how you do this. So I cut off just the parts that stick up that the roof slid into. So I'm checking this all out. It looks like it's going to work. And now I'm going to remove that door. And so I took the windows from the roof of the White House and and cut them up, glued them together to be the innards of wood panels, window sill, anyway, to look like a window. And then this is a cute little trick. I put my tape down so the sticky side was up, and then stuck these on there so that I could glue them together. It's a nice little trick, right? Worked great. And now I've got my window. So now I'm going to put the tissue paper goes inside all of the windows. I'm going to glue my little window on my top. I'm going to start gluing this house together. This, I think, took the most time, actually, was getting this all done. And now, before I glue it together, these are the lights. And I want to get them all up in there before I glue this together because, see that? I just have that gap for the top floor. So I've put all my tissue paper in all the windows, and now I'm putting all my lights in, which is the great illumination of the light, which I showed you guys. And now I'm going to glue the little sides together, and I filled in gaps with hot glue. It didn't really matter and there was a little piece of plastic that I put there for that little gap. And here's my little window boxes, which were the little benches, and I just put the purple ones on the top, the pink ones on the bottom, and now I've got little flower boxes on my house. I was gonna try and use this extra piece of roof to do a third story. It didn't really work, so don't do that. I mean, yeah, it just wasn't gonna work, so I gave up. And then I'm just filling in my gaps again on the side because I know I'm gonna paint this sort of. So, and this is the Jot marker. And it's the black one, and I just sort of dab it on and wiped it off. It basically what it does is it stains the plastic, and it gives it a darker purple, a more midnight purple, just a darker purple, which is what I wanted. And so I just dabbed it on there and wiped it off. I believe a Sharpie would do pretty much the same thing. And I was just trying to stain it a little bit darker before I did my whole paint job on it, so to speak. It's not really a paint job even that I do on it, but that's okay. So now I have that Jot marker, and I'm going all over sort of the white parts and the whole thing, just giving, again, this just kind of gave it a stain. But it wasn't quite doing what I want, so what did I pull out? My trusty, dusty shoe polish. Yeah, but look at what it does. Oh, I love the effect that this did. Again, you guys, I didn't wipe out all the color. I left the color as a base, which I think gave it a more sort of eerie, creepy, oh, it's like a house that's just decorated up for Halloween. as opposed to just painting it all black. I just really like this. And then what I did was I kept doing layers, and I'm like using my paintbrush to shove the polish into the crevices and really try and get it nice and covered. I was trying to keep some of the color on there, but just get it all dark and kind of creepy. Okay, so this took a little bit of time, and you notice I'm dabbing the shoe polish onto a paper and then onto a brush. The difference between your shoe polish and a paint is that this is more, it's waterier. What's with me the word? Anyway, and so I have a little bit of mobility to not make it be so thick. All right, there I'm painting that Wi-Fi sign, just getting the white off there and painted the edges. Now I've got my house done, and I'm going to glue it down catty corner because I kind of like this. I thought that looked good. And I'm going to just start doing stuff to decorate this up. Nope, first I'm going to do the tree. This is what the tree looked like, you guys. So I got to clean it all off. I got to get it off its stand. I've got to remove the all of the paper stuff. So I ran my knife along the sign because I don't want that paper to come off, right? I'm going to remove everything else, but I want to leave the haunted house sign. So I just serrated it and then just removed all the paper around it. Now I'm removing the extra stuff from the sign, the other signs that were on there. I think this came out really cool. I hope you guys really like this. It was a great use of a product and completely sort of changing it, but using elements that they gave us, like the cool haunted house sign on top of there. So I keep, pushing my knife in, breaking it away. At some point I'm going to sand the edges and get it pretty clean. And then I actually cut off a portion of it to make it shorter because it was sort of too tall next to the house. So here I'm just cleaning up all those edges, cleaning up, and I'm just going to paint it black. I mean, it's pretty simple. I'm just going to paint it black and age my sign a little bit. There we go. I'm cutting off the end. So I just serrated it and then popped it off, cleaned it up. Now I have a shorter tree. It's better size-wise for the house. So this is the fencing. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do it. It didn't fit all the way around the board, and so I end up just doing it around the house. I think this came out perfect. I just totally love how this came out. So I'm just going to cut sections of fence. I'm going to take my shoe polish, age my fence up. There we go. And then aging my archway up there a little bit. And then I just glued this down. I ran glue along the base and glued the arches down, which are the fairy garden, and then the fencing, which I shoe polished and glued down. Okay, so now we've got our fence around there. Perfect. It looks really cool. I love this. Love how this came out. So next I'm going to paint that tree. This is just chalk paint, black chalk paint from the Dollar Tree. So I paint the tree all up, and obviously I leave the sign, the purple, and then I take brown shoe polish and sort of age my sign up. I did paint the tree on the back and on the front, and I'm going to take a tumbling tower block, one of the brown ones, and I'm just going to glue it down as a base to hold up the tree. I know I'm going to cover it, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Now I'm just fixing a couple of spots that didn't get painted on the tree. So now I'm looking at the fairy garden stuff. I'm deciding, like, what am I going to use? What's the right scale? What will fit in there? So I just played around with this. I got lucky this year and found all the Halloween fairy garden stuff. So yay, Amy. So I got to do this. But had I not, like I said, the furniture pieces would have made great headstones in there. And of course, we get little miniature pumpkins and stuff. I could have made some things for it. But it did work out really well. I was happy that I had this stuff. And then I'm just going to grab the moss and some tacky glue, and I just cut it up. I just kept shredding it to make it more fine, and then tacky glue all over the bottom. I've already glued, by the way, I should say this, I glued down all my fairy garden pieces before I did this. This was the last step, because gluing them onto the moss, then they could have easily fallen off. So I wanted them to have that, to actually be glued down and not movable. And now I have florals. I'm putting little florals in my little boxes and on the side of the house, which was very helpful in the front of the house. This just added, it's just those little tiny touches. And I think this came out so good, you guys. Oh, I'm actually really happy with this too. guys, I really left the color on the house. So there was the pink and this was white and the purple roof. I left it and just darkened it with what I used, the black shoe polish, right? Oh my gosh. You know, I get so creative when I'm doing this, and then I didn't just watch, you guys just watched it. I didn't just watch it, right? But anyway, whatever. You saw all that. But I want to talk about a couple things. So the tissue paper in the window works very effective, and you can sort of see, I took the people that came with the dollhouse, the little people, and I glued them on the windows. I don't know if you can see them there. If you're in person, you can see the person standing there, and then there's one shadow up here. Anyway, to try and give it a little spooky effect. All right, so there was that. But the tissue paper on the backside worked amazing. But here's the big thing. Instead of putting a string of lights in there, you'll notice I used that neon light stuff that they're selling there now in different colors. And I bought it, and I said, this is really cool, but I'm going to save it for Halloween. So instead of having the intense little bulbs, it's a continuous luminous purple color inside the house, which gives us the coolest effect. It is such a cool effect. At night, this is so amazing. So also, let's talk about, you guys already saw, but I chopped up the moss to make it finer to putting on the ground. I do have one thing in here that's not from Dollar Tree. However, you can get it from Dollar Tree at Christmas time. I had just had this around forever, and this was the fencing. You could also make it with popsicle sticks. So forgive me for that. Normally, it's 100% Dollar Tree. This has one item that isn't, but everything else. So using all the fairy garden stuff, really clever, right? But here's, I think, probably one of my favorite parts of it is this tree. Taking all those other signs off and just leaving that haunted house back there and cutting it down. I'm seeing glue strings everywhere. This always happens. Like I get it out here to film and then I see all the glue strings. I know. This one I definitely didn't want to go out with a hairdryer because of all the little, things. And like, see the big pumpkins there? I was like, it's like a regular house that they haunted up for Halloween. And that's a big blow up pumpkin thing. And the little graveyard on the side there. Can you guys see that? It all came out so incredibly cute. I'm very happy with this. And then on the back is just my little light switch thing. So there was a couple elements like cutting up the windows off the part that I took off to make that look like a window instead of a door, right? Because it's a door. See on the back side, you can see that it was a door, right? Anyway, I think this came out really, really well. Also, so obviously there's the seams on the side, but by putting that purpley flower up the side, you cover that up. Adding the little window boxes with the little florals in there. Can you guys see? Let me turn my lights on here. Maybe we'll see a little bit more if I do that, right? See the graveyard, see the little florals. The detail on this is so good. Even the pathway. I mean, it all came out really good. I'm so incredibly happy with this. I mean, I even took on the fairy garden thing, added some black onto it to age it and whatnot onto the arches. So I think this came out really good. And I'm going to tell you one thing, the little pieces that came out of that, okay? So there's all these little pieces that are the furniture that are in those. I had the fairy garden cemetery things, right? And again, my idea was like, this is somebody's house that they decorated up for Halloween, my haunted house. But these little things would work great, paint them black. They'd make great little headstones. Check that out. It's a couch, but it would make a great little headstone. So just remember that. Some of the little things that can be used, I also think this would make a great headstone. Just paint them black and you could cut off the part of it like that and it's just a great little headstone. So you can make headstones out of those parts. And I used some of the little benches to make the flower boxes on there. I used the little people. I was going to use more of it, but I had found the fairy garden Halloween stuff, so that was perfect. And the scale actually for the house was pretty darn good on that fairy garden stuff, so I was happy about that. So anyway, I hope you guys love it. I'm in love, but you got to tell me, which one is your favorite? Is it the cauldron? Is it the haunted house? Is it the I'm here for the booze? Which one's your favorite, Marcus?
It's a cauldron haunted house tie, but I like the house.
He likes the house best. It's so cute.
And I have a plan for that house.
And you have a what?
I have plans for the house, you know that.
He has plans for the house. Oh, well, he has a good idea. Can I tell him what he said?
Sure.
He said he thought it was really cute to use the dollhouses, and I was like, that's not my idea, everybody does it. And he said, but you should just take and buy the same houses and then do them seasonally. So then do a Christmas cottage one
and then do like a fall one. And he goes, just do them for each season. You'd end up with a whole series of these houses. So it's somebody's house that just keeps getting, anyway. Well, that's not a bad idea. But obviously, I have to do each one of them differently because, of course, I would change how I'm painting the house. But I want to remind you guys, I'm going to show you in the light one more time. I kept the house colors there. I just used black shoe polish to age it up, which I think was very, I think it was really effective. I know most people are painting them. All right, so let me know which one was your favorite, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun doing these. Those, for me, these kinds of things are really more creative, and I really enjoy it. So it was a lot of fun. All right, but don't forget, you got to tell me down below which one was your favorite. Also, if I remember, I'm going to insert a video of Jax and Friday where he's just trying to drag him. Again, it's so funny to watch. We never get tired of watching these two interact. All right, I'll try and remember to put that in there. Don't forget, which one was your favorite, you guys? Everybody have a great day, great week, great life. I'll be back tomorrow with the Dollar Tree haul. And I'm sorry that this is a day late, and hopefully, yeah, it's just busy. I know you guys understand. Thanks so much for watching. I love you, besties. Bye.